Squiz Kids acknowledges the traditional owners of the lands on which we podcast, the Turrbal and Kombumerri people.
Squiz Kids!
It's your daily news fix. Fun, free, fresh.
Hello and welcome to Squiz Kids Today, your fresh take on what's happening in the world around you. I'm Christy Kijarina. It's Wednesday, February 19. In Squiz Kids Today, a Megalodon matchup, cloudy with a chance of Martians, the birthday behind bars, and a crash course in civics. That's what's making news, kid style.
The Lowdown.
Now be honest with me for a second. When you hear civics and democracy, do your eyes start to glaze over? It might not sound as exciting as Minecraft or Matilda's matches, but knowing how our government works is super important. And guess what? Primary school kids are actually doing better at it than high schoolers. A big national test on civics and citizenship found that only 28% of Year 10 students passed. That's less than a third. Even in Year 6, where the results were better, more than half the kids still struggled. And when asked how a referendum works, more than 80% of teenagers got it wrong. Yikes! So why does this all matter? Well, democracy isn't just about politicians in Canberra. It's about having a say in the things you care about, like protecting the environment, fairness in sports, or even school rules. But if people don't understand how governments work, how can they make change happen? Experts worry that if young Aussies don't trust or understand the system, they might switch off from voting or getting involved when they grow up. But never fear, Squiz Kids is here. We've teamed up with the Museum of Australian Democracy to create 2 awesome free podcast series. The Sensational World of Civics and Gang Gang's Guide to Referendums. They're fun, Australian curriculum aligned and ready to go. And to get you started, episode 1, Why Canberra, is waiting for you in the Squiz Kids podcast feed right now. And links to the classroom resources and all the podcasts are in your episode notes. We know that this topic is super important, so if you haven't done it before, or even if you have, this podcast would be a great one to share with friends. You can do it right now using the Share Episode button in your podcasting app.
Spin the globe.
Each day we give the world globe a spin and find a news story from wherever it stops. And today we've landed in North and South Carolina, we must be on the border, on the east coast of the USA, where scientists have made a jaw-dropping discovery, quite literally. Imagine this, a shark as long as a bus, with teeth bigger than your hand. That was the Megalodon, the biggest shark to ever swim the oceans. And here's the even crazier part. Scientists studying 12 million-year-old Megalodon teeth have found deep scratch marks on them. And these scratches could only have been made by another Megalodon. Yup, evidence that these giant sea predators may have fought each other. One tooth had a huge scratch across it in a way that couldn't have happened from regular eating. So, were these prehistoric beasts fighting over food, territory, or just proving who had the biggest bite? Scientists aren't sure, but one thing seems certain, even the ocean's top predator had to watch its back.
Spaced out.
The Martian sky is putting on a light show, and NASA's Curiosity rover is here for it. For the 4th Mars year in a row, the rover has captured shimmering rainbow-tinted clouds drifting across the red planet's sky. These clouds, called noctilucent clouds, meaning night shining, only appear at twilight on Mars, when the setting sun's light is scattered through the thin carbon dioxide-rich Martian atmosphere. Some clouds even turn mother-of-pearl iridescent, kind of like a cosmic oil slick in the sky. Scientists have noticed that these clouds pop up at exactly the same time each year, suggesting Mars might have seasons, just like the Earth. By studying them, they can learn more about how weather works on our neighbouring planet. And if you want to see these Martian marvels for yourself, check out the sped up video in the episode notes. Because even on Mars, clouds don't rush for anyone.
Believe it or not.
What could a 104-year-old woman possibly have done to end up behind bars? Caught speeding on her mobility scooter? Stole an extra pudding from the nursing home cafeteria? Whatever the case, Loretta Chamberlain spent her 104th birthday in jail. But it was actually on purpose. Loretta, from New York, had one unusual birthday wish: to tour her local jail and experience life behind bars. And the officers, well, they were happy to oblige. She got the full treatment: handcuffs, fingerprinting, a mugshot, even a stint in a jail cell. And what sparked this sudden interest in law enforcement? Loretta was inspired after she attended a Coffee with a Cop event at her nursing home, and she thought it would be pretty fascinating to see how things work on the inside. And after all that, was she rattled? Nope, she called it wonderful, which is probably the first time anyone has ever said that about a jail.
Time for the quiz.
This is the part of the podcast where you get to test how well you've been listening. Question number 1. What is the capital city of Australia? Well done, you civics stars who knew that it is Canberra. Question number 2. Mars is also known as the which coloured planet? Did you get that one? Mars is the red planet. Question number 3. What event sparked 104-year-old Loretta's interest in visiting a jail? That was a tricky one. She attended a Coffee with a Cop meeting.
Shout outs.
It's Wednesday, February 19. On this day, way back in 1906, the Battle Creek Toasted Cornflake Company was founded, now known as Kellogg's. What started as an accident, leaving some dough out for too long, turned into one of the world's most famous breakfast brands. Well, what do you know? It's also a special day for these Squiz Kids celebrating a birthday today. Oh, and we only have one Squiz Kid celebrating a birthday today. A huge happy birthday to George from Gunning. I'm not sure that that's happened before, but we have plenty of classroom shout-outs today, and they go to Mrs. Cole's class in the Creators Village at Redeemer Lutheran School in Nurriupta, Class 5B and Mr. Bird at Berserker Street State School in North Rockhampton, Class 5G and Mrs. Gunson at St Ives North Public School. And lastly, but definitely not leastly, Class 5-6T with Miss Turpin at Fernvale State School. And don't forget, if you've got a birthday coming up and you want a shout out, or if you're after a classroom shout out, drop us a line at squizkids@thesquiz.com.au or just fill out the form on our website. Well, that's all we have time for. Thanks for listening to Squiz Kids today. We'll be back again tomorrow. In the meantime, get out there and have a most excellent day. Over and out.